Hello and welcome to the ThinPrint booth here at Citrix Energy 2016. What I wanted to show to the audience here, or talk to the audience about for a second, in case you didn't have a chance to stop by, is that we are adding significant value for Citrix customers here in terms of printing. We've done this for the last 17 years in environments up to 200,000 users, and we're happy to have the opportunity here for the first time to showcase high availability, load balancing, and maintenance for printing. This is something that's extremely important. It's no longer native to most environments that are based on Windows servers, and we have put significant effort into this to make sure that printing is as easy, as smooth, as cost-effective, and as for users as well as administrators over the last several years. So making sure that printing is always available when our customers are relying on it is something that is extremely important to us. And obviously there's a lot around that to be done in the data center, but data center is always hard to show at an event, so I wanted to point out something that's probably unique to our approach here, and in that scenario also introduce the ThinPrint Hub again. It's something that we've shown for a while around the Citrix ecosystem now, and it's important because it allows us to do load balancing and high availability for printing also on the data center, on the client side in remote locations, branch offices, home offices even, and have the ability to ensure that all the jobs that have been run through the ThinPrint engine, that have been compressed, that have been encrypted, can make it to the destination very reliable, and they will always be there when the user expects them. And the ThinPrint Hub is a great tool to accomplish that. It's extremely cost effective and it's extremely easy to administer. So what I wanted to do before I wrap this up is to just give you a little bit of an idea of how this whole system works. It's all very easily done in a web interface. I've already logged in to spare you the agony of watching me type a password. Once you log in, you have 5 very easy options here on the side to configure this. The most important one is probably setting up the printers that are available in this branch office in this remote location. So I'll just add one here, do this real quick, and we'll call this the one that's for sales. We will assume that this is actually a Lexmark printer, and it's a network printer, so we'll leave this as TCP/IP, and of course I've memorized the IP address for this, and briefly hit save. We're good to go. One of the things that I just want to point out here real quick, the printer had already been added, is the ability to plug up to 4 USB printers directly into the ThinPrint Hub. That's great when you have more specialized printers, for example, label printers or prescription printers. You can add those and they immediately become available in the environment via the network. And then to kind of go, speaking of network, the next option here is a very simple I guess configuration interface for the network settings for the device. You do your, you give the device a name, give the device an IP address, or have it pick one up via DHCP. IPv6 is already built in, so we're safe here for the next iteration of networks. Next item up here, just some basic settings for ThinPrint. The one that I'd like to point out here is the ThinPrint connection service or ThinPrint tunnel. It's a great way to be able to print to networks that you don't have a VPN connection to. We will have the ThinPrint Hub paying a ThinPrint component in your DMZ, so that as soon as a job is available or required to be printed to a particular printer that this hub is serving, there's a connection that you can reply to. I guess the more network-focused people will call that a reverse tunnel. Of course, something that travels over WAN networks needs to be secured. So here's a very easy way to add certificates to it. We believe it's important that you use your own certificates that fit your environment, not a generic certificate that is potentially much more vulnerable to attacks and just generally too openly available to the general public. And then last but not least, for those who are so inclined, some nice options here for administering the actual ThinPrint hub. There's a backup and restore option that's really easy and convenient if you are trying to do devices with very similar configuration, or if you would like to actually produce two of the ThinPrint hubs with an identical configuration so that you can load balance and achieve high availability between the two devices, update firmware, set time zones, things like that. But those are really not the focus for this. So before I encourage you to really check this out. If you're still here at the event, come by. If you're seeing this after the event, then please do give us a call or send us an email. And other than that, thank you very much for your attention. It's been great to be at Synergy.